They came not with wings, but with fire. Not with halos, but with light that burned. The ancients called them gods. Scripture called them watchers. But they were neither. They descended, not to save, but to seed. Not to enlighten, but to rewrite. Mount Hermon, a place where heaven touched earth, where the first oath of cosmic rebellion was sealed in blood. The Book of Enoch was banned, not because it was false, but because it told the truth. It named names. It told of angelic pacts, forbidden unions, and of a world undone by beings we once worshipped. Their children were not human. Their blood was not clean. Skeletons of giants sleep beneath our cities. Their ruins lie beneath oceans. Across civilizations, from Genesis to the Quran, from Sumer to the Maya, one story echoes through time. A war in heaven, a fall to earth, a corruption that reshaped humanity forever. This is not mythology. This is memory. And the bloodline they forged never died. This is the tale of the Watchers and their children. A story of fallen gods who walked like men, of hybrid bloodlines that still rule in shadow, and of a pre-flood corruption so vast the world had to be drowned to forget it. This is what lies beyond the known. It began long before kings, before pyramids, before language. They came in blazing light. But they were not angels of mercy. They were watchers, the jinns. 200 celestial beings tasked only to observe, but they did more than watch. Led by Azazel or Semjaza, they landed upon Mount Hermon, a mountain older than memory, rich in magnetic anomalies. There they made a pact, bound by blood and oath. If one of us falls, all fall. Their mission? To descend into matter, to fuse with flesh, to corrupt the bloodline of Adam. The Book of Enoch tells us their crime. The Sumerians knew them as Anunnaki, sky-fallen beings who arrived to manipulate matter and reshape man. The descent was not a fall, it was an invasion. They took human wives of all whom they chose. But this was no romance. This was a genetic invasion. They targeted the daughters of Seth, the uncorrupted lineage of Adam. These women became vessels, their wombs, laboratories. The Watchers didn't just mate. They programmed. They taught the women sorcery, root magic, celestial knowledge. But the greatest sin was what they implanted in their DNA. It was a genetic conquest, an infusion of divine essence into human flesh. The goal? To corrupt the human genome, to pollute the bloodline of Adam. Rituals were held in secret sanctuaries, obsidian altars, glowing inscriptions, blood drawn beneath the full moon. Azazel taught the art of war, swords, shields, and armor. Kokabiel taught astrology. Penemu distorted language, rewriting human thought. These were not lessons, they were systems. Every Watcher specialized in corruption, twisting humanity from the inside out. The union birthed something monstrous. The children of this unholy union were called Nephilim. In Hebrew, the fallen, the violent, the giants. They stood between man and God, Too large for the earth, too vile for the heavens. Some were 20, even 30 feet tall, 6 fingers, double rows of teeth, eyes like burning coal. But worse than their form was their appetite. They devoured animals, then humans, then each other. They carried the frequencies of their fathers, distorting reality with their presence. Commanding beasts, bending light, twisting minds. They appeared across Earth under different names. Titans of Greece, Rakshasa of India, Kina Metsin of the Maya, Tuatha De Danann of Ireland, Anakim and Rephaim of Canaan. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, we find their names: Ohia, Hahia, Gilgamesh. Yes, Gilgamesh. 2/3 divine, 1/3 man. Not myth. Legacy. Sumerian kings claimed descent from godmen. Pharaohs wore crowns shaped like elongated skulls, echoes of their Nephilim heritage. And then the earth was filled with violence. The Nephilim were kings, priests, tyrants, and the pagan gods. They built megaliths, summoned storms, and fed on blood. They taught mankind forbidden science, how to open portals, enslave spirits, blood rituals, alchemy, and manipulate the elements. Temples appeared overnight. Cities rose on sacred geometry. Pyramids aligned with Orion. The Great Pyramid of Giza was not a tomb. It was a frequency machine, a power station, tuned to Earth's harmonic grid. The Tower of Babel? Not a tower, but a resonator. An attempt to tear the veil between dimensions. Men called them gods, but they were parasites, and the world became their playground. Heaven responded. Enoch, the 7th from Adam, was chosen as messenger, a mortal brought before the divine. He was shown what the Watchers had done and what would come. The decree was passed. Bind the Watchers, kill the giants, purify the earth. Azazel was chained in Dudale, a desert pit of fire and stone. The rest were cast into Tartarus, realm beneath realms. The Nephilim turned on one another. The earth trembled. Skies darkened. But it was not enough. The corruption had spread. Even animals had been defiled. So came the flood, the deluge. The waters above and the fountains below burst open. Continents shifted. Magnetic poles flipped. Landscapes erased. Atlantis vanished. Lemuria crumbled. Mohenjo-Daro melted in fire. The Ark was not primitive. It was a vessel, a biosphere, a genetic vault carrying clean DNA. Noah was not alone. He carried instructions, not just animals. The goal? To reset Earth, to eliminate the corrupted code. But something survived. The Nephilim died, but their bloodline endured. Through Noah's wife or his sons' wives, the seed remained. Canaan's descendants inherited the Nephilim trait. They resurfaced after the flood. Og of Bashan, Goliath, Anakim tribes, Egypt's pharaohs, descendants of gods. Their elongated skulls weren't ceremonial, they were genetic. The Merovingians claimed descent from a serpent king. The Holy Roman bloodlines, the Black nobility, the Windsors, all trace their origin to the stars. Blood rituals, sacred unions, and royal incest. Not taboo, but preservation. Freemasonry, the Knights Templar, the Rosicrucians, they guard these bloodlines. Behind every throne is a lineage they don't want you to know exists. The Watchers never truly left. Their temples sleep beneath Antarctica. Their craft, beneath the oceans. Their bones, hidden in Vatican vaults and Smithsonian sublevels. But now, they stir. In secret labs and underground cities, they are being reawakened. Through CRISPR, artificial wombs, cloning, quantum AI. The ancient code is returning. Why do modern elites obsess over genealogy? Why are entire nations run by a handful of bloodlines? Because they carry the Nephilim spark, the Antichrist, the Dajjal. The final king who shall come will not be fully human, nor fully divine, but a hybrid. And he will not conquer with armies, but with light, with answers, with order. He will offer peace in exchange for chains. The earth was once cleansed with water. Next, it will be fire. The war for heaven never ended. It simply changed dimensions. The bloodlines still rule. The rituals continue. The Watchers wait. And their children walk among us. We are in the final phase. Atlantis will rise. Babylon will return. And mankind will kneel once more before its ancient gods. Unless we remember, unless we awaken. Because the giants never died, they simply learned how to wear suits. If this journey shook something deep within you, subscribe now. Because we're only scratching the surface of forbidden history, cosmic war, and the ancient forces that rule our reality. And in the next episode, From Eden to Atlantis, the rise of the hidden kingdoms, we descend into the drowned worlds and reveal the secret empires that never fell. The kingdoms you were never told about are the ones that rule today. Join us as we go deeper, beyond the known.